friends, welcome to my channel Max My Heartbeat. Students, we are in our chapter Relations and Functions. So in relations and functions, we are discussing about graphs of functions. Already we have discussed about polynomial functions, exponential functions, modulus functions, etc. Okay, so now after that we have next function, that is logarithmic function. So how to find out domain, range, codomain, everything about logarithmic function, let us see now. So today's class, let us start with logarithmic function. Is nothing but log x to the base a. A means any constant we can take. Okay, so now let us see the graph of logarithmic function. So before drawing the graph, so let me take the value of log x to the base 2. Okay, so my y is equal to log x base 2 is my f of x. Okay, now let us plot the graph of log x to the base 2 and then we'll see the domain, codomain, everything. Okay, so let us take x values and y values. So when x value is 0, log 0 value is 1. When x value is 1, log 1 value is 0, x is equal to 1 onwards will start. Okay, x value is log 0 is not defined, so not to take log 0. So let us take log 1 value is 0, and if we take log 2 base 2 value is 1. Next log 4 to the base 2 means 2 square, so value is 2. If I take 8, then 2 cube, so that value is 3. So now let us plot the graph. So here I am not possible to take up to 8, so only up to 4 I will take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Here also minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here also minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So this is my rough graph. Don't think that this is original graph. So G1, when x is equal to 1, y value is 0. So this is x is equal to 1, y is equal to 0. Next x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 4, y is equal to 2. 3y we are not taking means log 3 value is somewhat between 2.1 point something. So no need of taking that. We don't know the exact value, that's why I am not taking. So log 4 to the base 2 means 2 square here. If you take 2 that side, then that becomes 2 log 2 base 2 is nothing but. So if I take log 4 base 2 here, is nothing but log 2 square base 2. So this becomes 2 log 2 base 2. That is 2. Understood? That's why I am getting log 4 value as 2. So when my x value is 4, then my value is 2. Okay? So my graph will be something like this. Understood everybody? So this is my graph of logarithmic function log x to the base a. Okay? That is my graph is log x to the base 2 this graph. So now let us define domain, codomain, range, everything for this function. First let us see what type of function it is, either one function or onto function. I mean many one function. So what is the test we are using? Horizontal line test, right? So horizontal line, if I draw one horizontal line, okay, intersecting this curve, then at how many points of intersection I am getting? Only one point of intersection. So that my graph is, my function is what type of function? One function. Understood? If I get only one point of intersection, then that function is one function. If I get more than one point of intersection, then that function is many one function. So my graph is what type of function now? One function. Okay. Next, domain. So what is the domain? So domain means we are not taking any negative values. Why? Because negative logarithms are not defined, right? Log minus 2 to the base 2 is not defined. So whatever the negative value you take, we are getting not defined as the answer. So our domain. So domain is equal to r plus. Okay. So our range. So our range is also open interval 0 comma infinity is nothing but R plus. Okay, here our codomain. So codomain is R. So is R plus and R same here? So codomain is not equal to range. So this function is what type of function? Into function. Yes. I hope. Wait. Domain we are taking R plus means codomain also we should take R plus only. So here codomain and range are same. So codomain is equal to range. That's why this function is onto function. Understood? When we are taking domain as R plus, then codomain also will be R plus. So R plus to R plus. So range also R plus. So codomain is equal to range. So this type of function is onto function. So when one function is one and onto, then it is bijective. So F inverse also exists. So for this function, F inverse X exists because this is a bijective function. I hope everybody understood about logarithmic function now. So this is when a is greater than 1. Yes. Now let us see when x is less, when a is less than 1, means 0 less than a less than 1. In such condition, what is the graph? And what are the domain, codomain, range? Yes. So now our condition is 0 less than a less than 1. Okay. Now we have to take log x to the base 2 as log. Okay. This is y. Same y is equal to f of x is equal to log x to the base 2. Somewhat big I am writing here. F of x is equal to y is equal to log x to the base 2. Same base I am taking here. But my value of x is in between 0 and 1. Okay. So whatever I want I can take. So I am taking log 1 by 2 to the base 2. Okay. So when the log is in between, when the a value is between 0 and 1, then my graph will be a decreasing function like this. Understood? So this is my graph of y is equal to log x when 0 less than a less than 1. It will be more than this also. Okay, this is the graph of y is equal to log x to the base 2 when my x value is in between 0 and 1. Okay. So now this function, the same domain of this function is same. Why? Because negative values are not accepted. So domain is R plus and codomain. So everything will be same. Only the graph will change. So codomain is also R plus and range. Range is also R plus, means from 0 to infinity. 0 is also not included. Understood? So this is domain, codomain and range. Okay. Next, what is the what type of function it is? So let us take horizontal line test. For suppose I am drawing here one horizontal line. So how many points of intersection I am getting? Only one point of intersection. So this function is 1 function. Okay. And anyhow clearly we know that codomain is equal to range. Right. So codomain and range are equal. So this is what type of function? Onto function. So when 1 and onto, then f inverse also exists. Yes. Is this function continuous? Yes, this function is continuous only, no? So this is continuous for every x element of R. Okay. And derivable also, no? Is this a smooth curve or any sharp corner is available? No, not. We are not observing any sharp corner in this. So this is a smooth curve. So derivable and for every x element of R. So one more we have forgot previously, that is whether this is whether this is even or odd. Is this having any symmetric about y axis? Is there any mirror image in y axis here? or any mirror image with respect to origin? No. So this function is neither odd nor even. So everything we have seen about the function, logarithmic function. I hope everybody understood. Yes, so this is my explanation about logarithmic function. Now let us move to our next function, that is greatest integer function. Very important. Listen carefully. Next function is greatest integer function. So greatest integer function. How to see about greatest integer function? So in general we'll write this as the greatest integer function. So f of x is equal to, we represent in square brackets that number that becomes the greatest integer. Okay, so now how to find out greatest integer? First let us see. When the number is positive, when the decimal 2.4, what is the greatest integer of 2.4? Means first you draw the number line and write the numbers like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2.4 means in between 2 and 3 somewhere it will be, means for suppose this is my 2.4. Okay, if I move from left side, always greatest integer means we have to move from left side only. If I move from left side, what is the first integer I am getting? So 2. So this the answer for this is 2. Understood? Even for negative values also. For suppose I want minus 1.54. Okay, so what is the greatest integer of minus 1.54? I want to know. Yes, so here also now take 0 in the middle, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, sorry, minus 0, afterwards 1, 2, like this. Okay, so this is my number line now. Integers number line is represented like this. 0, before 0 only we have to take negative integers, and after 0 we have to take positive integers. So this is my integer number line. So 0, 1.5 minus 1.54 means 1 after something like this. Here I will get minus 1.54, right? So here also you have to move from left side only. So left side, whatever the integer I am getting, that is the answer. So my answer is minus 2. Understood? So this is how we have to find out greatest integer. Clear? Left side only. So now let us see some examples. So what is the greatest integer of 3.54? Is 3. What is the greatest integer of 4.69? Is 4. 34.32 is 34. These are the greatest integer values. Next, what is the greatest integer of minus 15.67? Yes. So negative number means before number, I mean before number on the number line we have to take. What will be the before number on the number line for us? Minus 16. So that is the answer. Minus 27.24. What is the greatest integer we are getting? Minus 28. So like this. Understood? Now everybody understood greatest integer? Yes. So now let us plot the greatest integer function on our graph. Okay. So x value and y value. So if x is equal to 0, y is also 0. And one more thing, what is the greatest integer of some integer? Minus 1 means no decimal, so same answer. Understood? Always greatest integer of integer is same integer. This is very important. Z means some integer. So greatest integer of integer is same integer. So here 0 is also integer. So y. When x is 0, y is also 0. For suppose 0.1. Okay. So greatest integer is 0 only. 0.2. Greatest integer is 0. 0.5. Greatest integer is 0. 0.7. Greatest integer is 0. Like this. Understood? So now let us plot the graph. How the graph of greatest integer will be. Now let us see. So x axis and y axis. So this is 0. Okay. So from 0 to 0.9. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 something. Okay, this is our graph. Now from 0 to 0.9 our graph will be having same value, right? 0. So up to here like this the graph will be. Okay, from 1 after again my value of y will change from up to 1. Yes, so means here my value is not from at 1, my value is not 0. So I am taking a circle here. My value of 1 at 1 is 1. So up to 1.9 my value of 1 is 1 only. Again after 2 at 2 my value of 2 is 2. Up to here like this. Yes, so something like this I will get the graph. I hope everybody understood now. Clear? This is the graph of greatest integer. Wherever I am keeping the circle, there my value is next number but not same number. Understood? Circle means that value is not for that particular number. Clear? So this is my value of 0, graph of greatest integer function. Clear to everybody? So now let us see the range, codomain, domain, codomain, everything for this greatest integer. So domain. So domain is everywhere, for every real number we are having some value. So domain is R. Okay. So codomain is also R. For every real number we are taking one value, right? Yes. So what is the range? Okay. What is the range of this function? So range of this function means it is not defined at every integer value. Means our range is R minus Z. Is it? No, here range is also R. Every real number we are getting some value, right? Nowhere it is not derivable. Not getting my value. Yes, 0 means 0, 1 means 1. Everywhere we are getting some value. So range is also R. Okay. Sorry, range of this function is also R. Okay. So now codomain and range are equal, right? So what type of function this is? So codomain is equal to range. So this function is onto function. Okay, when codomain is equal to range, this function is onto function. Now let us see the horizontal line test. So suppose I am drawing the horizontal line like this. Okay, how many points of intersection I am getting? Many points of intersection, means more than one point of intersection. So I am getting what type of function here? Many one function. Okay. Next, let us see whether this is even or odd. Even or odd means anyhow, anywhere we are getting mirror image for y-axis here. No, or any where we are getting equidistant from origin. See here, if I am moving from here to here, some distance. In the same way, if I move from here to here also, is there any point here? No. So this is also not symmetric about y-axis and not symmetric about the origin. So this function is neither odd nor even. Okay. When function is onto but not 1 to 1, then this function, f inverse of this function does not exist. Okay. Clear? I hope everybody understood greatest integer function. So the graph of greatest integer function will be like this. Clear? Means like this step function also we can call. Why? Because if you observe this graph clearly, you can see some steps like this. Yes, so this function is also called what? Step function. Clear? I hope everybody understood greatest integer function also. Yes, very important. Now let us see our next function, that is fractional part function. How the graph of fractional part function will be. Very important. Let us see that also now. So our next part, next concept, what type of function? Fractional part function. And we generally denote fractional part function like this using flower braces. Understood? Flower braces indicate fractional part function. Okay. So here also my value, y value is like this. Clear? Is nothing but f of x. Okay. So here also, what is the fractional part? How to take out the fractional part? For suppose 2.4 is there. What is the fractional part of 2.4? So 2.4 I can write like this, right? 2 plus 0.4. So 2 is a integer, right? So integer not to take. Afterwards, whatever the decimal is there, that you have to consider as the fractional part. So here my value is 0.4. So fractional part of 2.4 is 0.4. Everybody understood? So now to say me some other fractional parts, 3.14. So what is the fractional part of 3.14? 3 after decimal, that is 0.14. 54.92. So what is the fractional part of 54.92? 0.92. Clear? So always my fractional part will be in between 0 and 1. Yes? Am I correct? Everywhere whatever the fraction you take, its value will be in between 0 and 1. That is the line logic you have to remember. This is about positive values. For suppose if I take negative values, then how to do? So negative values, minus 3.71. Okay, what is the fractional part of minus 3.71? You may think like this: minus 3 minus 0.71. So minus 0.71 is wrong. Always fractional part means you have to take a positive value only. Understood? So we can write this as 4 minus 4 plus. Now for what? How much we have to subtract? That we have to see. So 0.29. Correct? 29 plus 71 is 100. Yes. So my value of fractional part will be, so what is the value of minus 3.71 fractional part I am getting? 0.29. Understood? This is my fractional part. Clear? Everywhere you have to get fractional part as positive value only. Okay? Fractions will never be negative. That's why you have to take positive values only for fractions. Okay? Now let us see the graph of fractional part function. How the graph of fractional part function will be. So this is my y-axis and this is my x-axis. So this is x, this is y. So here this is 1, somewhere like this I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, here minus 1, minus 2, here 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Okay. Now in between 0 and 1, anyhow when my value of fractional part is in between 0 and 1, up to here like this I will get one fraction. Yes. Anyhow I said 0 and 1, in between 0 and 1 only I should get. So from 2 to 3 like this, from 3 to 4 like this. Understood? Anywhere you take, my graph will be like this. Periodic function. So in between 0 and 1 only for my values. Not negative values, always positive values. I said no. So my graph of fractional part function will be like this. Clear? Wherever you take, you will get the value in between 0 and 1. For suppose I want the fractional part of 3.45. What is my value? 0.45. So in between 3 and 4, in between 0 and 1. So y-axis 0 and 1, in between only I will get. Okay, somewhere like this, 0.45, somewhere like that. Understood? So my fractional value of every number will be in between 0 and 1. So this is the graph of fractional part function. Okay, so what is the domain, codomain and range of this function? Okay. So domain, domain means from positive, from minus infinity to infinity I can take any value, right? So domain is equal to capital R. My codomain value I am getting, So codomain also in the question only he has given a free function. You have to take f from R to R, means from real numbers to real numbers. Clear? Yes. But for real numbers to real numbers. Okay. So now let us see the range of this function. So range of this function is in between 0 and 1, right? So open interval 0, comma 1. Clear? But closed interval no. Yes, where 1 is not included here. So closed interval 0, comma open interval 1. This is the range of the function. Okay. This codomain is equal to range here. Why? Because 0 is included but 1 is not included. Wherever you take 0 is included but 1 is not included, right? That's why 0 we have to consider, 1 we should not consider. That's why 0, comma 1 range of this interval. Range of this fractional part function is 0, comma 1. Codomain is R. So is codomain equal to range here? So codomain is not equal to range. Therefore this function is what type of function? Into function. Okay. Now let us see whether this function is many one function or one function. Somewhere you draw a line like this. Wherever you want you can draw the line in between the graph only. So how many points of intersection you are getting? Many points of intersection. So this function is many one function. By using horizontal line test we have found that this function is many one function. Okay. Next, anything left? Even, odd even function. Is there any mirror image with respect to y-axis here? Listen carefully. Mirror image with respect to y-axis means if that x-axis, if this value is like this, then y-axis values should be like this. Are there reverse of this here? No, same side. So this is not symmetric about y-axis or symmetric about origin. That's why this function is neither odd nor even. Understood? So this is everything about. Yes. How about continuous? Is this function continuous? Yes, continuous, but only at integer values it is discontinuous. So R minus Z. Okay. Derivable also no, everywhere except. So this function is derivable at R minus Z. So same like previous function, even previous function also like that only. That function is also continuous at R minus Z and derivable at R minus Z. Why? Because at integer values we are getting discontinuous function. Understood? So this is about fractional part function. I hope everybody understood this. Yes? Okay. So with this, and one more is there, trigonometric functions. So trigonometric functions, we can remember the graphs directly. So anyhow, trigonometric functions. About trigonometric functions in detail, we'll learn about trigonometric function, graph of trigonometric functions in inverse trigonometric functions. There we'll know clearly about trigonometric functions. But for now, let us keep in mind that all trigonometric functions are many one functions, and some functions are odd and some functions are even, and all functions are periodic functions. Periodic means the graph will be continuous like this. Understood? So all those functions are periodic functions. Odd and some functions are odd and some functions are even. What are those odd functions and what are those even functions? Just let us discuss once again. So odd functions means sin x. Why? Because sin of minus x is minus sin x. Cosecant x. Cosecant of minus x is minus cosecant x. Tan x and cot x. These are odd functions. Even functions are cos x and secant x. Okay, this is about trigonometric functions. Graph of trigonometric functions we'll discuss in the inverse trigonometric functions. Clear? So students, this is my today's video. This is my today's class about graph of functions. I hope everybody understood all the concepts. If anyone has any doubt, please mention in the comment section. So if you like my video, share my video to your friends. and make them subscribe my channel. I hope everyone is understanding every concept. So students, once again I am saying that learn the concept and try to understand and practice the problems. Then only you will get good marks in the exam and you will never forget the subject. I hope you will follow. Thank you.